Good morning, you beautiful people. I see my beard is getting out of hand again, and my hair I need to run through a clipper again. Spring has sprung, and it's not as well seen everywhere as it is in the prickly pears. The prickly pears have gone into a growth spurt. When I went for that little prickly pear course, they say it's one of the few things that you can give pear manure to and they don't die. You can't give them nitrogen poison. So we've tipped a wheelbarrow of horse manure at each one, and they've reacted to it. They really like it. Doing good. You can see the radishes coming up even between the horse manure, it seems. Radishes coming up and enjoying life. Now, I think let's go walk and see Onion Ring quickly. So as we walk towards Onion Ring, I want to tell you the effect Charlie Kirk had recently on my life. And I was wondering whether I should speak about it, but you know what, you don't have to agree with me. Charlie Kirk is a political figure, conservative, that was assassinated in America recently. And before that, he was on my timeline for a couple of months, viewing his videos. And what I'm taking from this and what I want to take into the world is how we should continue to seek truth, and how we should do that with love and empathy. Feel other people's pain, try to understand them. And obviously, if you don't agree with them, you can tell them you don't agree with them, but you try to do that without ridicule. Don't go for aha moments. I'm not saying that's what he's always done, but that's what I'm taking away from this. This is how I want to do. And so even when we take that into the permaculture movement, even when people don't agree with us, commercial farmers, for instance, seek to understand their position. Onion Ring got into the food, obviously. Seek first to understand, and then with love and empathy share your point. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a flu coming up. All family's got, my office is down. So that's what I'm taking away from Charlie Kirk's funeral last night, or his memorial. Let's love each other more, even though we differ. Let's love each other more. So there was a pipe that burst again here last night at 3 o'clock. We've had a policy in place where we close the taps off at home. The taps that go over the farm, I think we should do that more again. Luckily Moremi was awake. It was at 3 o'clock. Moremi was awake and he heard it and he ran and he closed the taps, which is a good thing. So this is next to the visitor center over here. 1 year ago there was nothing growing below here. And so we planted these Lucinas in the tires. I think it's probably about time that we remove the tires. You can see they are doing quite well. Our goal is still to have about 300 of them. I think we should do a quick walk through the river. Walk to that top dam, see what we can see there. The only bad thing is this is now sun up, so the camera might have some glare. Did some horse riding yesterday. Amazing how unfit one can get in a certain activity. I'm so extremely horse unfit. Every bone in my body is sore. You can see the green coming up even though we had no rain. The season has changed and the grass is green. This is just incredible. This must obviously be from the moisture that's still retained in the soil from last year. No rain, nothing. All of a sudden we have green grass. This is just fantastic. Okay, so this is just one of our little thorn bush structures. You can see on the one side it washed away a little bit, where the water came through there. So we can repair that. This is our main, or the first one that we've built, I think. of the stones and the tires. You see these guys, they love where there's moisture, so this means there's obviously moisture now. We can't see it, but they can obviously. Well, there used to be some leucaena trees in here, down here. They seem to not have made it. Yo, these muggies. You call them muggies, I don't know what you call these things in your country, but they're very bad. Okay, let's see, I want to walk through that grass now. I wonder if I can climb over here. Ah, shucks. Cool. Let's see if we can see any leucaenas. Wait. Okay, nothing that I can see. Remember, we had a fig tree here somewhere. That one died, I think, from standing in the water for a week at a time. But this little wall of biomatter will definitely have a big influence on, in the future, on catching everything and having it settle down. This will work for years and years, I believe. Okay, then we continue a little bit. So that's the big structure down there. And then this is the dead tree I wanted to cut off last year already, to put it over the river and build a structure. My wife said she finds something special in the tree, so we compromised and the tree stayed. We found some middle ground. So there's this joke in the horse community that said my wife wanted to buy one horse for me and one horse for her. I didn't want to get a horse, so we compromised and we bought 2 horses for her. So that's more or less how that conversation went. Sorry, there's some thorns in my shoes. Conversation went. Okay, entrance of the river. And this is the next fence that we'll probably put up this year. First we have to do the greenhouse quickly. There's still a lot of things that we want to do, and then we'll put up this fence from there to the Brendo, Subi and Jeffrey Sachs. Just want to really thank you for your support. It means the world to me. So last year, I don't know if I still have footage of it, but there was nothing here. You can see, I assume cattle probably got in here a bit and ate down this land, and they didn't go all the way in before the herders got them out again. But this year I'm not that worried. In fact, I think it's a good thing that the cattle are doing that, coming to eat some of our grass. We have way too much grass, and we get more from outside as well. So if a cattle comes and takes a little bit of it, it's not the end of the world. Basis Dam Camp, maybe we should walk around and see what damage Brendo has done so far. So there's still some sunflowers from last year. Remember, this was all barren ground last year. So we've been putting Brendo in Basis Dam Camp for some time, and she's been grazing this down. You can see she's making a difference, but nothing too serious yet. See, there's some grass trampled. I hope I can get some footage, but these little things, these little holes here, hundreds of them, has had a huge impact on the fertility and the productivity of this camp. It was definitely a great thing. It's sad to see that they are basically closed up with the rain, but I think the biomass on the ground, you can see a thick layer of grass lying here where Brenda has been trampling the grass down. a thick layer of biomass on the ground definitely has had an effect. You can see some of the sorghum is coming up again without any water whatsoever. Just a change of the seasons and the moisture that was retained in the soil from last year. You can see there. This is incredible. Incredible. That's why it's also so important to have a diversity in crops or diversity in grass, because some comes up earlier than others. Obviously these roots are much deeper than the other grass or something that they have the moisture to get up. I think the holes also, the holes that accumulated the moisture is a big thing. Let's have a look. So the termites have been eating them, but it's good. Termites need food too. You can see they are all growing back strong. Okay, so let's just walk through. Besh's dam is over there. My neighbor passing. The soil going to see this. The other benefit of having Brendo here is the droppings. She lives all over the place. In the closed up areas it's more difficult to see between the grass. But once you start looking for it, see, probably about a wheelbarrow a day. And that's what she drops at night. She drops a wheelbarrow every night, so I think she might be dropping a wheelbarrow during the day as well. There she is. Hello, Brendo. Good day, young lady. Let's see if she wants to cuddle. So she's seriously fat. I'm beginning to think she's preggies. My wife doesn't think so. I found a breeder very close by that said I can borrow his bull in the next 6 months. It will be easier to move her there than to move her. Look at Nipsey. I've got nothing for you. Got nothing for you. Sorry, young lady. So the safe space next to a cow is here, just behind her head. And that's the safe space. That's where she can't do anything to you. Or it's more difficult for her to do things. She can still try and kick you. But yeah, she's not that kind of lady. No, she hasn't kicked, I think, once, but check. Let me see if I can get a straight out back shot from her. Let me show you how fat she is. It doesn't show that on the camera, but she is seriously fat. Okay. She's expecting an apple. Kids like to give her apples and carrots. Not sure how good it is for a cow, but I think it's good for a child to do that. Okay, I think that's going to be my walkthrough from the farm today. Quickly get the guys to work. I don't have to do pig food today. Cornel is back from Swakop, so he's doing pig food today. And that is going to be the end of my story. Hope you have a wonderful day. Go love your neighbor. I'll see you tomorrow.